And we're prepared. Hello, guys. Hi. So it's a great pleasure to welcome all of you here. My name is Ola Savicka-Green, and I'm a marketing coordinator at Fundingbox, the European leader in cascade funding for deep tech. And at Fundingbox, it is our ambition to provide European SMEs with access to funding, technology, and networking opportunities. And we're also a member of SHOP4CF, a consortia, an EC-funded project that hopes to humanize robotics. And since the project is about to finish, we decided to organize a series of events called SHOP4CF Meetups, where we share the findings with local entrepreneurs community. And we have decided to come to Portugal thanks to immense work, and I have to mention that and stress it out again, an immense work from Liliana and Vasco and their team from Connect5, a star digital innovation hub that has the best of Portuguese SMEs at heart. They responded to our request. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and give them some cheer to the team of Connect5. Please, they really did a lot of work in a very short amount of time, and they do deserve utmost gratitude from our side. Because they wanted to share what we have planned for you. And so you might be wondering what we have planned for you today. So this is our agenda for today. So we're going to have an introduction in a second. Our speaker's already ready here. And then we're going to dive into the SHOP4CF, the project with the general description and then the technologies and components behind that project. And then you also have a chance to witness that, what the project can do for an SME in action. There will be also a short Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, more than welcome. There will be not enough time during that Q&A. We're going to set it up during lunchtime. So the more questions, the better. And then you're also going to see how you can access the resources and network. It will be a short demonstration. And we're going to conclude that part with the success story coming from the project, right? So there'll be one beneficiary sharing how they did and what they achieved. And then moving on, we're going to go to the next block that is connected more to funding, because everyone likes money. And so we're here bringing you opportunities from the European ecosystem as well as the local Portuguese ecosystem. So we're going to have 2 sessions about that. Then we're going to do a short presentation of another project, because as I was mentioning, the SHOP4CF is about to finish, but there are other projects that are waiting for you to access and tap into their opportunities. So we're going to have a short presentation about I4Q, and then one success story already from Portugal that is thanks to that project. And then we're going to have the networking lunch, where you will be able to access all the speakers that are mentioned, that will be presenting today. So should you have more questions or you would like to have a conversation with them, that will be available. And then we're going to have, Vasco is going to take us to the DIH facility to see, to show you what they have available for you, what they can offer you. You can witness that with your own eyes. And we're going to conclude with a coffee break and some networking and wrap-ups, right? So this is sort of our agenda. But as I was saying, our speaker is here already waiting. So let's go to can I have a next slide? Imran. Next slide. Sorry. So we have our João Veloso, the Vice Rector of Cooperation of University of Aveiro. And by the way, if I say the names, not the best, apologize. Like, my name is Ola, but that's all I have to do with Portugal and Portuguese. and it is really quite funny whenever I come here for holidays or visits. But so, sorry if I not pronounce well, but João, please present some introduction and welcoming from your side and from the university that is hosting us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the University of Aveiro for the SHOP4CF Meetup. So, let me start to give some notes about our university. So, University of Aveiro is young, but has already a rich history. It was founded in 1973, and will turn the 50 years this year. From then to now, it has grown in a sustainable way, and nowadays we have more than 17,000 students in bachelor, master, and PhD programs. 20 research units acting in a large spectrum of field of research. All of them are rated from our National Science Foundation as excellent or very good. And we have more than 500 PhD researchers working in these different research units. We also have a strong cooperation with companies and industry, running about 200 projects in collaboration with a very, very good results and success. Nowadays, University of Aveiro has a relevant scientific activity, having a strong international impact and recognition, and so contributing for the knowledge in many fields of research. In particular, electronics, telecommunications, and digitalization process are part of the DNA of the University of Aveiro. And so we considered it of major importance. We are contributing for the Portuguese effort for the digitalization of our industry and other entities, Portuguese entities, through training and education programs, reskilling and upskilling, participating in several projects with industry, some of them human-centric. I'm seeing the Bosch, Nelson was around, so in one project that we are together. And in 4 digital innovation hubs, so Connect 5, Produtec, PT Centro Digital Innovation Hub, and Portugal Blue Digital Hub. So this event runs in a time where the implementation of new strategies for digitalization are crucial for the impact of the Portuguese economy and also for other economies. And so a deep discussion about the problems and the solution is essential. I believe that this meeting will contribute to this discussion. To conclude, I would like to congratulate all the members of the project SHOP4CF and the organization of this event to put in place this relevant meeting hosted in the University of Aveiro. I wish you all a fruitful discussion and a pleasant stay at Aveiro for those who are visiting us. Thank you so much. So now I will make a short presentation. It was Vasco has asked me to do it focus in micro-credentials. For that, since the target public is a Portuguese public, I will move shortly for Portuguese and for this presentation to better explain. Okay. Let's see. You don't know my password? No, good.
I was trying to keep it alive.
Let's try to see if this digital it works.
Nice, yeah.
Let's see, presentation mode. Presentation, here. Ok. Mais uma vez, bom dia a todos, não é? Temos este programa que é o Aveiro Education and Social Alliance. Este programa foca-se naquilo que é um programa lançado pelo Governo, que é um programa Impulso, focado nas áreas STEAM, o Impulso Jovem e o Impulso Adulto. Para esta plateia, o importante é, penso que, claro que o Impulso Jovem também é importante para ter novos talentos, mas também aqui, para esta plateia, é mais importante focarmos naquilo que são os aspectos do reskilling, upskilling, por isso aprendizagem ao longo da vida e requalificação. Este programa foi um programa financiado, como eu referi, no âmbito do PRR, lançado pelo Governo, um programa do PRR, e considera uma oferta diferenciadora baseada naquilo que chamamos de microcredenciais, formações curtas e cursos de especialização também, formações curtas. Ele parte daquilo que são parcerias com empresas, tem uma possibilidade de bolsas, iremos ver que terá até custo zero para as empresas e para os formandos. Tem formadores com experiência e qualificados e penso que o ponto 4 é muito importante, existe grande flexibilidade naquilo que é a construção dos currícula, naquilo que é o horário em que eles possam funcionar, essas microcredenciais, naquilo que é a própria modalidade, naquilo que são os conteúdos e naquilo que é o local onde eles se possam realizar, quer de forma híbrida, quer de forma remota. Nós tentamos preservar a presencialidade neste tipo de formações, mas também com forte possibilidade de haver a própria equipa se deslocar às empresas para, se assim tivesse esse sentido, fazer a formação in loco. Esta oferta é uma oferta que nós consideramos diferenciadora e vem um pouco naquilo que é a estratégia de inovação da Universidade de Aveiro no consórcio europeu, que é o ICU, que é um consórcio de diferentes universidades, onde surgiu esta nova forma de abordagem das microcredenciais, que é uma forma, como eu referi, uma forma ágil e que tem um impacto muito positivo naquilo que é a economia, na capacitação, na formação e, como eu também já referi, quer na aprendizagem ao longo da vida, quer na requalificação. Por isso, aqui há uma questão que me parece bastante importante, eu já referi, que são as modalidades de colaboração com as organizações externas, quer empresas, quer outro tipo de entidades, mas participar a essas entidades também na co-definição e concepção dos próprios programas de formação. Isso obviamente que tem sentido. Porquê? Porque são as próprias empresas que sabem e podem sinalizar as necessidades e as competências em falta para poder, de alguma forma, criar mais robustez no seu próprio recursos humanos. A disponibilização de recursos humanos para a formação especializada, as próprias empresas também participaram no processo de formação, também ter a capacidade de atração de estudantes e, por fim, a questão da empregabilidade dos formandos que possam resultar ou dos próprios, aumentar a capacidade dos próprios recursos humanos que já têm. Por isso, qual é o valor destas microcredenciais? Nós dividimos em microcredenciais e cursos de especialização, que pode ser o curso de especialização, a agregação de algumas microcredenciais, que depois elas próprias constituem uma especialização. Por isso, pretende-se aumentar as capacidades da própria organização, expor os trabalhadores a novas realidades e experiências, permitir aos trabalhadores a utilização de equipamentos de software e tecnologias disponíveis neste contexto da formação em que eu não possa ainda não existir na empresa e poderem também testá-las, contribuir para a valorização e motivação dos trabalhadores, as pessoas também se sentem melhor sabendo mais e podendo contribuir melhor na própria empresa e assegurar que a formação resulta em aprendizagens efetivas, ou seja, ter um processo que garanta também a avaliação e a aprendizagem. As microcredenciais, só de uma forma muito rápida, ofertas de pequeno volume, entre 1 a 3 ECTS, possivelmente os ECTS não lhes dizem nada, mas correspondem entre 9 a 27 horas de contacto. Inspiradas, obviamente, no diagnóstico das necessidades de formação das empresas, tal como eu referi anteriormente. e muito focado naquilo que é prioritariamente no reskilling e upskilling de adultos. Por isso, qual é o valor para o próprio indivíduo? Claro que a utilidade é para a empresa, mas também para o próprio indivíduo. O indivíduo pode investir na sua aprendizagem ao longo da vida, em um ritmo compatível à sua vida pessoal e profissional, uma vez que se pode articular de diferentes modos estas microcredenciais, acumular diferentes microcredenciais à medida que as necessidades surgem, e converter também um número de microcredenciais ou num curso de especialização, ou também poder complementar para um curso com frente a grau. Por isso estas vão sempre contando, estas ECTS fazem parte, ao fim e ao cabo, de uma carteira que o indivíduo tem. Os cursos de especialização são um bocadinho ofertas mais longas, podem combinar várias microcredenciais. Só de referir que eles podem ser sempre feitos à medida das empresas, das necessidades das empresas, e é sempre um processo de cocriação entre as empresas, além daquilo que nós já temos definido e que podemos oferecer diretamente. Corresponde tipicamente a 108 horas. Este programa é um programa financiado e, como tal, há a possibilidade de nós criarmos protocolos ou acordos de parceria, não é? Com as empresas, e nesse caso o custo da formação é zero, por isso é financiado a 100%. Isso é algo que é bastante interessante para a empresa. Aqui tem só os sítios onde se pode ter mais informação, mas facilmente encontram na Universidade de Aveiro. Agradecer também a disponibilidade e mais uma vez desejar aqui um encontro que seja muito interessante e profícuo. Muito obrigado a todos. Sorry about this.
No, not at all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So now we're going to dive into the SHOP4CF. And we're going to start with a general project introduction. And that's going to be delivered by Diego Carvajal. Almost getting there. The technical engineer from the university, from the Polytechnica of Madrid. And who's also a project partner of SHOP4CF. So Diego, there you go.
Thank you, Hola. Good morning. I'm Diego, and I'm from Universidad Politécnica de Madrid. And I'm going to show with you today what is SHOP4CF. I'm going to try to share with you all my experience also there, because we are, as UPM, Universidad Politécnica de Madrid, we are part of this, for me, amazing project. Okay, but before going through SHOP4CF, we are going to see some numbers about manufacturing enterprises in Europe and the challenges that we still have. We can see here some numbers, for example, about how the manufacturing sectors turnover, how Ola said, the money, important thing. And also how manufacturing is going on nowadays in Europe. Also, it's important to see here the employees in manufacturing, because maybe when we think about manufacturing, we are thinking about the factories, the big shop floors, the machines, all the production lines. And yeah, we know that we have employees. We know that they are there, they are doing their work, but yeah, we are taking care of them. Yes? No? Well, let's see. Also, it's important to talk about digitalization. Why? Because, well, now I don't know if you are familiar with this new concept of Industry 5.0. Yeah, we were in the Industry 4.0. What is the difference between 4 and 5? Maybe there is not a big difference. Maybe we only lost the focus that was there in the Industry 4.0. In the Industry 4.0, the focus was also in the human. But now with the Industry 5.0, we want to put again the focus on the workers and take care of the workers. Not only take care about the health of the workers, take care how the workers are doing their job. And here we can see also the cost of the manufacturing. Yeah, if we compare with other realities, like in China or Vietnam, we can see that, yeah, it's a big difference. But now we are going to see what are these implications, because we want to be more competitive also. Yeah, we want to be competitive, but we, in SHOP4CF, what was our goal? Our goal was to create a software platform with a lot of different components. SHOP4CF is a smart human-oriented platform for connected factories. And the important thing is human-oriented. Yeah, also factories, yeah, all the name, but human-oriented. And all these components that we developed were focused on this digitalization, the digital transformation, and also the human-oriented meaning. And in this project, we believe that the project will have a positive impact in the labor market because, how I say it, we develop these components to be interoperable. Yeah, we are going to see how these components can interact between each other, but we also focus on the workers. So far, so good, but now we are going to see. We have this marketplace with 26, if I'm not wrong, 26 components that are different kind of components. We have components for data collection, for monitoring, for robotics. We have also components for managing the process inside these production lines. But here it's important to see that the human-centered approach is important because we are here not to replace the human workers. We are here to help the human workers to do their jobs in a better way. And an overview of SHOP4CF. We are 20 partners from universities, from industry, from SMEs, and from research organizations. We have, yeah, next please. Yeah, how I said, we have 26 interoperable components. Why interoperable? Because all these components can interact using fireware. I don't know if you are familiar with fireware. That is a way to communicate between, it's also a data model, we have the context broker, we have all this communication with using fireware smart industry. And how we can also support all the people that is using SHOP4CF components. We develop these MOOCs, and also we have the technical team for supporting the people that is using the components. Yeah, Next, please. And now I invite you to scan the QR code if you want. Don't worry, it's not a virus. If it's a virus, it's Imran. No, don't worry, don't worry. And thank you. This is only a quick introduction to SHOP4CF because later I'm going to show you more in detail the components, not all the components because we have 26 components, but the important thing is to have this concept. What is SHOP4CF? What is the outcome? And how we want to help the SMEs, but with this special focus on the human workers. Thank you. Now I think that we are going to watch. Yeah, we have a video. Do we have a video? Yes, we have a video.
Manufacturing plays a crucial role in the European economy. Almost 10% of all the enterprises in the EU are in the manufacturing sector. That's more than 2 million organizations. In addition, around 22% of all workers in the EU are employed in manufacturing. However, the sector is facing many challenges. Only a small percentage of companies in the manufacturing sector are highly digitalized, which means that most of the potentially useful information generated in those companies is lost. Labor costs are high, and due to the aging population, factories are having a hard time finding workers who can keep up with the physical demands of the job. The increasing labor costs in Europe is driving companies to produce and hire in cheaper countries, which has long-term negative effects on the European economy. Many factories attempt to solve these problems by incorporating machines or robotic workers, but this solution can lead to problems of its own. Enter SHOP4CF, the smart, human-oriented platform for connected factories. An EU-funded project involving 20 partners who will develop a platform containing a wide range of components that cover a broad spectrum of industrial requirements, especially in the context of modern, flexible, and data-rich manufacturing. SHOP4CF's goal is to find the right balance between repetitive tasks and cost-effective automation, and to involve human workers in areas where they create the biggest added value, such as adaptability, creativity, and agility. The overall vision of SHOP4CF is that tomorrow's production requires both machine skills and human resources. Therefore, SHOP4CF aims to help machines and humans work together, improving working conditions for humans by automating monotonous or difficult work and by increasing human productivity through smart assistance from machines. The SHOP4CF project will help prevent accidents and downtime in factories. It will reduce the risk of collisions in advance. It will also provide ergonomic and healthy working conditions, increasing productivity and worker well-being. Furthermore, these changes will have a strong positive impact on the labor market. But how will this be achieved? Through a digital marketplace that includes components, pilots, license models, and more. A platform. A unique infrastructure to easily develop and deploy modular components that cover a wide range of different tasks in modern manufacturing environments. 3 open calls that aim to get new integrators and developers on board to foster a vibrant ecosystem of industrial partners. And free online courses to help factory stakeholders learn about new technologies and how they can be implemented. The consortium of SHOP4CF is looking for stakeholders like you to join their growing community. To learn more about the project, open calls, courses, or marketplace, visit our website at shop4cf.eu.
Yes, please visit our website. Now we are going to present some of the components that we have available in this marketplace. Thank you. Next, please. How I said, we have 26 components. Important thing, human-centric industrial applications. I'm saying this a lot, human-centric, human-oriented. It's important. it's important to have this clear. I'm not going to go deep with this slide because we had the video, we had the previous presentation. Also, we have the 26 components, but we have also 8 support tools that are tools that are not connected with the other components, that cannot interact with the other components, but are tools that can help us to manage different processes between these components and the human workers. We have RAMP, that is the marketplace where we have the components available. And yeah, we have a big community. We want to also have you in this community. You are welcome. An important thing, standardization. Why standardization? We are not creating a new standard. We are not doing this thing to propose a new standard, and we have, oh, well, 100 standards here to use. No, no. We are using the standards that are available. We use Fireware that comes from another previous project, European project, and we are communicating the components through Fireware. And the components also use other standards, like, for example, OpenAPI, OPC UA, Web of Things. Yeah, we are using these standards and going to the components. Well, the components are available on RAMP. Here you have the website. And yeah, we are going to go through RAMP later. But now I want to show you between 3 and 6 components. For example, this component, interoperability layer through Web of Things, is the component that we developed at UPM, and it's a component that can help us to communicate between, for example, in one use case in the Bosch plant in Madrid, we translate the OPC UA information, yeah, using OPC UA to Fireware. And we made available for the other SHOP4CF components this information. We were reading in this case, the PLC, we were reading the OPC UA, and we transformed this information, and we published this information in the Fireware context broker. In this way, other SHOP4CF component in this use case was MPMS, is an orchestrator that manage all the tasks for this process. And with this information, this component can make decisions and to control all the things. We can maybe go to the next component because I already explained this component, and yeah, maybe you don't want to listen to me again in this video. We can go to the next component. Yeah. Here we have another component from FCI. And here, yeah, it's better if we can go to the video. But you are going to have this presentation available. You can have, yeah, all the presentations. I don't want to talk a lot here because it's better for you to go with calm and watch this and to complement with the next presentation that is about RAMP. But here we can see the video.
Hello, my name is Adolfo Suarez Ros, and I will present the human-aware mobile robot navigation component that FZI and IRT Julvern are developing together in order to improve the way mobile robots move around humans. Mobile robots are being used increasingly in production plants. They can detect obstacles and plan safe collision-avoidant paths to reach their goal. In the proximity of humans, the same algorithms can lead to unfriendly or dangerous situations. The human-aware mobile robot navigation component distinguishes humans from obstacles, estimates gaze direction and walking speed, and uses this information to plan safer and friendlier collision-avoidant paths. By focusing on humans, we aim to increase the well-being and performance of workers in the factories.
Okay. One important thing that I want to highlight here is because we can think that, okay, yeah, you have 26 components that are interesting and do different interesting things, but how they interact, I want to highlight this. We have components to collect data, we have components also like this to do something interesting in the shop floors. And we have also these kind of components that are to manage the processes. And we can connect all these components through firmware. Through firmware. That is the important thing. All these components can work together. That is the important thing also, that are not isolated components. The next component here is from PSNC and is for supporting human workers, are production lines. Let's see the video, please.
The predictive maintenance and anomaly detection in automotive industry component, which we call shortly PM80 AI. This component is being developed at Poznań Supercomputing and Networking Center in close collaboration with Volkswagen Poznań as a part of the SHOP4CF project. The first objective of our component is detection of problems during the KTL painting process, which stands for cataphoretic dip coating of car bodyworks. The second objective is to support maintenance needs in the KTL area. Both objectives contribute to the main goal of our component, which is to support human workers during their day-to-day tasks within the factory. The KTL process is applied in the Volkswagen paint shop to provide a layer of paint on the bodywork that will protect it against corrosion. The car bodyworks are immersed in a water-based electrically conductive paint. Electrical field is then applied, causing the paint to be deposited on the parts. It is crucial to ensure a uniform layer of coating even in hollow spaces and on sharp edges. However, there are many reasons which can cause difficulties during the painting process. For example, mechanical wear out of painting equipment may lead to problems with electrical conductivity. The component collects production data from various sources and uses them to provide real-time predictions, alerts, and advanced analytics. All communication between our component and its working environment takes place through firmware. In order to provide reliable predictions, some of the recent advances in machine learning and particularly anomaly detection are applied. The analytical insights that users gain from the component help them early identify problems which may lead to damage of equipment in the KTL area, as well as to detect potential quality defects in car bodyworks. Ultimately, all of this allows to reduce downtime and unnecessary maintenance procedures. Our component provides a user interface which allows to explore recent paintings in the KTL aggregate. Problematic paintings, in case of which anomalous measurements were detected, are highlighted in red. After selecting a specific painting and clicking the Explore button, the user can see additional information regarding the painting process. The visualization is interactive and shows current waveforms associated with the painting as well as contextual metadata needed to carefully assess the situation. Any deviations from normal behavior are highlighted by the software.
Do you want to be part of SHOP4CF? We don't know. maybe yes, maybe no. You are free. But, okay. This is the component that I mentioned before that works with our component in the Bosch plant in Madrid, MPMS. Is to manufacturing process management. It's important to say that, well, I had this experience to interact with this component. It's very useful, I think, for SMEs to manage all the tasks that one production line has. We are going to watch the video, please, to understand better.
In discrete manufacturing processes, humans and robots collaborate to produce complex physical products. The overview of production lines and the handling of any issues can be addressed by extending business process management concepts. With a widely accepted BPMN language, we first start with modeling manufacturing processes, taking into account agent tasks, safety alerts, and machine failures. Process engine enables the execution of the process models. A new process starts by filling in related data. The process advances through the workflow, and tasks assigned to agents are being shown in the task list, ready to be completed. A separate web application serves as a dashboard, where users can have an overview of deployed processes and running instances of those. By selecting a process definition, we can see more details of the running instance, where the process is sitting at the moment, the process variables, and their values.
Well, the next component is the next component comes from Fraunhofer IFF and is for programming and operating a robot. How you can see, we have a lot of different components for robotics applications, not only to manage the processes, but also to program the robots to do some specific tasks, to identify objects, to avoid obstacles. And in this case, we are going to watch the video with Jose.
Introduce our component automated safety approval. Hello, my name is Jose, and I'm on the development team of the Fraunhofer IFF in the SHOP4CF project. I will introduce our component automated safety approval. This component is for collaborative robotics applications featuring speed and separation monitoring and builds upon the SHOP4CF safety planning tool, also from the Fraunhofer IFF. The safety planning tool is a plugin for the simulation software Visual Components and is used during the planning phase by designers to determine the size of the minimum required separation
What happened?
introduce our component Automated Safety Approval. This component is for collaborative robotics applications featuring speed and separation monitoring and builds upon the SHOP4CF Safety Planning Tool, also from the Fraunhofer IFF. The Safety Planning Tool is a plugin for the simulation software Visual Components and is used during the planning phase by designers to determine the size of the minimum required separation distance for robotics applications. It considers specifics of the application, such as the robot, its program and speeds, tooling, workpieces, the environment, and the choice and placement of the safety sensor. It helps to determine the correct sensor placement and estimate the size of the minimum required separation distance. The component Automated Safety Approval is conceived to help when the robotics application is in operation and changes are planned. As an example, the robot speed could be increased to reduce the overall cycle time. The component allows you to check new robot trajectories and speeds that are provided either by a simulation software or other SHOP4CF component via fireware, and it is designed to work without a visualization, only offering pass-fail information regarding the planned safety measures. In case the safety configuration is no longer valid, the user needs to redesign the application with the safety planning tool.
Thank you. Okay, well, here we have the complete list of the components that we have available in RAMP, and an important thing is also that all the components are for you, only for you, are free. Yeah, you don't have to pay for use these components, don't worry. Also it's important to mention that you are going to have support from the technical team if you have any doubt about how to use the component, or if you need to adapt the component to your specific use case. That is an important thing to mention. Also here we have the supporting tools, no? Yeah, the classification. The classification, how I said, you will have access to these presentations, and you can review all this classification, the function, and if you are interested in using one of these components or more than one, you can contact us and we can manage this. We have components for safety and quality, like, for example, automated safety approval that we watched the video. The next, please. Communication components. Here we have our component, the last one. These components help us to communicate with external devices. In our case, for example, with PLCs using OPC-UA, or for example with APIs that are defined as Open API standard. We have also the first component, Flint, that also do something similar, that you can select from which standard you want to translate the data to fireware. In this case, the end of these components is fireware, the SHOP4CF data model that is defined using the fireware data model. Next, please. We have robotic components also to interact with the robots, to program the robots, to program specific tasks for the robots, to avoid obstacles, to all this process with robotic arms that are fixed or that are mobile arms. Next, please. And also for training and learning, if we can see the virtual reality creator, it will allow workers to be trained in the operation of a machine. Very important thing. We are here we are covering a lot of different phases in this process. We are not focused only in the point that we are there in the shop floor and we have the product line already there. We are also thinking what is happening before we have this implemented there, and also during this stage and later. How I mentioned before, we have also these 8 support tools. In UPM, we design the design thinking methodology supporting tool. We use a tool similar to Trello. I don't know if you know Trello. We use Wecan, that is an open source tool. And we adapt this tool to implement the design thinking methodology, to help the people to apply this methodology, to apply the design thinking methodology, to support all the processes, the co-creation, also the test, and all these processes using these tools. Next, please. Next, please. And thank you again. You can also scan this QR code. And thank you for your attention. If you have questions, you are welcome.
So now we can have a few minutes of Q&A. If you guys have any questions, please raise your hand. Yeah, one here, perfect. Would you introduce yourself and then ask a question?
My name is Jorge Ferreira from the company Struzal.
Manufacturing has played a crucial role in the European economy since the Industrial Revolution.
I like to understand, or for you to explain me a little bit further, the fireware, because and to ask if I want to use these components, it is mandatory to work with fireware or not. Okay.
Thank you. Sorry. Yes, it's mandatory if you want to use these components, because all the components can communicate with each other using fireware. Fireware is fireware has a context broker where you can storage all the data. The idea of fireware, well, I'm going to try to explain one use case. For example, with our component, we read the data from the PLCs using this standard OPC UA. We read the data, we have the data, we create a fireware alert entity. Fireware has entities, it's a JSON. You define this JSON using the SHOP4CF data model in this case, but it's the fireware data model also. And we publish this entity, we publish this JSON in the fireware context broker. Yeah, it's like a database. Something like that, yeah, something similar to that. And you have all these entities. You have different entities. You have alert entities, you have task entities, different kind of entities. You have all these entities stored in the fireware context broker, and you can access to these entities, you can access to this information anytime. And that is the idea. It depends, of course, what kind of entity you generate with the components. If it is an alert entity or a device entity, you can filter also this, and you have this data available there, and the other component access this entity and read the data and do the task that this component wants to do. Yeah. The idea is also that it's not only like a database. Yeah, that is not the idea. The idea is that if you are using Fireware, you have different tools that you can use to communicate. You have the SHOP4CF components, but you have also different tools from Fireware, from the Fireware Foundation, to interact, for example, with other standards and in other fields, and how to, you have also in the Fireware Foundation website all the information about how to manage different situations in different fields, for example, industry or health, cities, yeah. That is the idea. Thank you. Any other question? Another video. And Ram?
Manufacturing has played a crucial role in the European economy since the Industrial Revolution. Now we are in the middle of a new revolution, as factories turn to modern technological breakthroughs to improve production. SHOP4CF, a project funded by the European Commission, is advancing innovation in the manufacturing sector using robotics and automation. As part of the project, SHOP4CF teamed up with Siemens to explore how robotics might be integrated into their shop floors, specifically in the assembly of gearboxes. Initially, the idea was to assemble the gearbox using an autonomous robot. However, investigation revealed that the parts are produced in low volume, meaning that a hybrid assembly model could be pursued with the robot and the human working together. The robot delivers the pieces to the human, who assembles them following work instructions conveniently displayed on the working table. To make this idea a reality, two tools were considered necessary: a tool to understand and mitigate possible risks in a collaborative human-robot workplace, and a visualization tool to show specific information related to the assembly, which reduces the necessary cognitive load and stress related to the task. These tools were combined into one gearbox assembly use case to be tested in a pilot experiment. This experiment was carried out using the SHOP4CF platform architecture, as well as its large catalogue of components, which have all been developed by SHOP4CF project partners. The experiment was divided into two phases. During the design phase, the suitability of the components was studied. During the execution phase, the selected components were deployed, tested, and evaluated. Why SHOP4CF? The SHOP4CF platform is composed of two parts: the marketplace, which contains the entire catalogue of ready-to-use components, and the technical requirements, which ensure that all components are compatible with the same middleware architecture. The marketplace was useful for this experiment because it allowed the components to be obtained in a full containerized package, without the need for additional installation of libraries or software. The technical requirements were key, as they allowed all components to communicate easily through the common middleware. The final gearbox assembly solution integrated 8 components from the SHOP4CF marketplace: a manufacturing process management system developed by TUE, a review of risk analysis, as well as automated safety approval technology components developed by Fraunhofer IFF, a dynamic task scheduling for efficient human-robot collaboration component, and a flexible task programming tool by FZI. An AR content, which allows for the provision of AR-based teleassistance, and AR manual editor developed by Technalia. And also a component which offers AR for collaborative visual inspection or task instructions developed by TUM. What barriers were encountered? A few difficulties were encountered during the implementation of this experiment. One of these was the fact that an active internet connection was needed for most aspects related to the middleware, called Fireware, or to virtual debugging. This was solved by working directly with the Fireware engineers to make changes that would support local deployment. Another barrier was the fact that the catalogue of components was not as wide as it would have been in an ideal situation. Fortunately, the catalogue is still expanding, and many more components are expected to be added in the near future. The experiment achieved its objective. Humans and robots were able to successfully work together on building gearboxes. Furthermore, the experiment brought a number of additional insights. It successfully deployed different components using the SHOP4CF data models to allow them to communicate using fireware as middleware. It was used to show that the risk analysis process can be improved and simplified as compared with state-of-the-art solutions. Third, the experiment integrated visual clues to assist operators in the assembly process, thus simplifying the manufacturing steps. Finally, the experiment helped reveal how different technical concepts can be integrated with each other into a coherent whole. More precisely, it demonstrated the limits that robots have and how humans and robots can be better brought together. The SHOP4CF marketplace can be found at shop4cf.eu. All components are easy to implement and use. You can browse them and download them for your own use. If you are a developer, you can create and upload your own component. Learn more about the project and resources available to you at shop4cf.eu.
So now we're going to go to the demonstration, right? So you will show how to access the platform. And,
Yes. Yes, of course. Yeah. We are available for all of you anytime. You're welcome. And now, because you can have a lot of questions, you can ask me later, but some questions about the components or where I can find the components and see more details and the description of the components. We can go to this website that is ramp.eu, and we can access to the complete list of components. If we go to software components, and if we want to use the SHOP4CF components, we can put here SHOP4CF and search. And below we have the complete list of the SHOP4CF components. We can see the name of the component here and not a complete description, but we can go down and, for example, there, open Wi-Fi. Oh, I like this component. What is this component going to do for me? First, we have the name of the component. We have the company or the university, the research group that developed the component. And here we have the description, we have the impact on work, and we have technical information about the component. We can go to the documentation, but maybe it's interesting for you. We have the demo. The demo is going to take you to the video like the previous videos that we watched. And this is an important thing. For example, we have all the components that are available for us, but maybe we want to see more in detail something about the source code, or if I have to change something, I have to adapt this component for me, I can go directly to the source code. In this case, it's going to open a new, there in GitHub. And here we have the source code. I can download the source code, and also I can change the source code of this component. Can you go down, please? And it's important to mention that, if you know this platform, you know that here you are going to have more information about all this code that is available there. I will recommend that if you want to take a better decision. You can go to this documentation, you can explore all of these options that you have, and if you have any other questions, you can contact to us, or maybe you can contact directly to the developer of this component. For example, that if you go to the link of IMEC, yeah, there you have the contact of this organization that are the developers of this component. It's not difficult, I think. Is easy for you on this? Yeah, no, yes, more or less. Well, don't worry. Yeah, I think that it's an easy way to start taking a look of all the components. And yeah, if you have more questions or any other thing that you want to share with us, we are open to hear you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, can we go to master presentation? So, as I was saying, sorry, Diego is staying with us. So, if you guys have more questions later on, you can definitely ask him during the lunchtime. Or also, we're recommending that you join the community, and then you will get to know other people behind the project, and you'll be able to access to them. Because as you've seen on the presentation, there's quite a lot of organizations involved, and maybe it will be better, even better for you to approach directly the other partners. So now this was all about how the project works. I think you all might be very interested in, like, okay, so what actually does it do from the SME standpoint? And we have this great pleasure to have Paolo with us, the CEO of BDRCO, who will share what it did for their company and share the success story for App4Work. So guys, please put your hands together, give a bit of cheer. And Paolo, thank you if you could come on stage. I've seen you there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm Paulo. I'm representing BDRCO. It's a software company. We have a challenge that comes from our experience in the manufacturing sector, where we saw technology arriving every day, but people are always aside. Yes, it's sadness. It's a sadness. So we have this idea. How can we put people in center of the factory? It's difficult to put managers and CEOs. It's very difficult. They don't go. But people are still there. The workers, the operators are still there. So how can we engage them? We know that by a diverse set of studies and our experience that it's a game. It's a game that people play with information and communication between the operators, between inside teams and between teams. So this game is a set of requests and answers that people must share with each other to perform better. I'm going to show you this project that was developed with INDEF. It's a consult company for implementation of organizational methodologies. Eurogalva is a manufacturing SME that gives us the opportunity to test the component. And these are, of course, the team that work in the project. Thank you, Imran. Okay. This is the problem. When we take the fish, the problem fish, we saw the machinery, the process problems, but the principal problem is that 75% of problems in shop floor is about humans. It's not about machines or technology, about humans. How we interact with information, how we do our work. Because there are decisions not taken, because information is lost or with deviations and biases, and the teams, of course, are motivated, causing lack of engagement, poor performance, and so on, and low quality. in the sector, automotive sector, estimates that 20–40% of the cost of quality comes from lack of engagement of workers. So what do we mention? We mentioned a game with information, with the simplest way possible. Things that we do every day, looking at the phone and see information, interact with information with friends, with news, whatever. Okay? So why can't we do the same thing at shop floor? We are going to test it and to see if it's possible do this kind of work. Thank you, Imran. Okay, it's a app. The app controls, or better, helps the operator to control this workstation. The information that comes in and goes out from the workstation is controlled by the operator. It's controlled by nobody else, only controlled by the operator. The managers, the middle managers, and support areas all does one thing only: help the workers doing their tasks only. So the software has a back office for a front office for operators and another front office for managers and support areas. It has an assistant, a bot, if you want, that helps operators to achieve, to become more predictive in their actions. Thank you. This is the two, how workers and operators and managers or support areas sees the app. It's different because they have a lot of things to do, and the support area receives and sends information to help workers to take the action, the best action in the shop floor. This tool helps through the shift, through the day of the operator and the teams at the shop floor, looking at specific events that occur in specific times in the shop floor. In start, in the run, and end. They must do routines that are always the same routines, because we want that they become more productive, more effective, and so granting or helping them to achieve the best routines in their job. Thank you. So the app manages the workstation, use an assistant bot that follows the working day tasks, delivering, capturing info and data as needed. For operators, use and workspace dominion. They must feel that the process that they are doing is them. This is a methodology that helps understand a little better how we interact with information. We saw in our team, developers, we are always happy and engaged with process, of course, because we are the owners of our process. Our programmers, our engineers are focused on their job, so they can share and they experience good feelings in doing that job. The operators is not true, because the work is complex. Every day is more complex. The diversity of people is becoming larger, and so they become, and technology that arrives put them away from the process, and so they feel every day more or less productive. This is the results of the experience. More for 6-point reports by shift. The teams were 3 teams. Yes, 3 teams by 2 shifts, and we have more 8.25 reports by shift. So this is an important results from the experience. Imran, second results, more important yet. You can see the experience occur more or less 20 days, and they become more and more interactive with the issues that come to solve, and they solve the issues, they close the issues, they close the information, they close the requests they received, and at the end of the project, we made evaluation of this satisfaction that was okay. We think that this kind of programs, we learn this, it's important that time is important to achieve better results. But it's important because the impact was positive, and so this is our results. Okay, resuming. We saw the reducing the information losses, reduced information deviations. Of course, information is put on the phone, so it's easy on the app. Door plates and the operations become more productive, and the routines, diary routines, become more reduced. Okay. Finally, the people, the workers, become more engaged with the process. Yeah, and we feel it, and we measure it. It was, we think, that a good, excellent result for this experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And Paul, you're still staying with us for a moment, so if there are any questions later on, we're definitely going to find you. And now we're moving to the next presentation that is about money, because I think all of you guys might want to have some more cash at hand to spend on digitalization of your SME. And with us, it's Maria Rocca, the Senior Project Manager from Funding Box, and she's going to share a few words about how to access funding coming from the European Commission and the public money. Thank you.
Thank you, Ola. So thank you all for being here. I'm not going to talk into a lot of details about the funding opportunities that we have. If you have any question, maybe later on we can have a chat and I can redirect you to the person at Funding Box that is dealing with this. So just let me give you a little bit of context. Why we are here. So I have a short presentation at the beginning just about the company, but I can just, I know it by heart, so I will explain you without the slides. So our company, we are a private company, we are a non-profit company, we are based in Poland, in Spain, and also in Denmark. And mainly what we do is that we work in European projects. One of the main tasks is distributive funding, and this is one of the part of my presentation. And the other one is we work with different institutions. In my case, I'm fully involved in the activities with digital innovation hubs and European digital innovation hubs, and this is the main reason we have been in contact with the hub here, to make sure that the innovations that we are organizing at European level are channeled through the SMEs. For us, as being a small company, it's very hard to reach to all parts of Europe, to all the SMEs. And also, you know, we are very much now in our strategy relying on the work of the digital innovation hubs to make sure that the information is going through the SMEs. So just for you to know that it's not... Okay. Well, doesn't matter. So for you to give you a little bit of a background, our company have been working already 10 years distributing money. We have been channeling more than 110 million euros. And how we do that? I mean, this is European money. We apply to the European Commission, and then with the funds that they give us, we organize open calls. The rationale behind these calls is because you know that Horizon Europe and other programs might be sometimes difficult for SMEs to reach, okay? It requires sometimes to work with research centers and, yeah, and other organizations. So the idea behind these funding opportunities is that they are smaller and they are very much focused on different technologies and different also activities that the SMEs could develop. Most of the projects that we are dealing with are answering to societal problems, and mainly we are working in the area of AI, manufacturing, IoT, 5Gs, and other technologies. And you know, I'm doing big efforts to remember my presentation. So, yeah. Well, I want to ask you, who is familiar with FSTP money, with the Cascade funds? Are you familiar with this type of funding, or is the first time you have heard about it? Okay. Then, as you have seen today, mainly in the SHOP4CF, they did also this type of open calls, where they were distributing money that goes around 60 or 100K to SME that wanted to test the component. Why? There are two reasons mainly. One is because, as it has been presented before, the European Commission is putting a lot of efforts in making sure that the SMEs are taking advantage of the technologies that are developed. And secondly, also, in some occasions, it's difficult also for SMEs to really see what is the advantage of this technology. What this component, for instance, that we have been seeing today, will bring to me. So this type of funding opportunities gives you the opportunity to check whether a technology is feasible or it's of your interest at company level, and also then, if it works, then you can take the decision of moving forward with further investments or maybe, you know, deploying the solution in other parts of the shop floor. So these are mainly these two things. But besides the money, and one of the things that we have been learning throughout the years is that at the end, it's not so much about the money, but also the support that you get throughout the process. So during the open calls, even if you receive 60K or 100K, of course, to cover the cost that it will require for your company to test this technology, it's also important that you will have the support from all the technical partners. As you can see, for instance, in SHOP4CF, there were more than 20 universities and you know, technical researchers and you know, a lot of staff that will be working with you hand by hand in implementing the solution. So, of course, the money is important, but what is more important is you will have access to a network of researchers and people with a lot of technical background that will guide you through this process. Okay? So now you can move to the opportunities directly. So mainly now I will present you, well, there are also several types of opportunities. From one side, we have the ones that are only funding, then you receive the funding and then you implement a specific project. There are others that are mainly to receive business or technical support, it depends. And also there are other opportunities that are just, you know, maybe to receive some trainings or to get some feasibility studies. It depends on each of the open calls, okay? So there are plenty of opportunities, but I know it's a bit hard sometimes to find them. I will show you a little bit, if you go to the next one. Yeah, I will show you where to find this information. Next one. Those are the technology fields that we organize, well, that we work in. And, well, yes, maybe I can also take a look at this presentation. As you all know, when you submit a project, sometimes it takes a long time, you know, to receive the results. In the case of the FSTP projects, more or less in 3 months, you will have the results. So also, the idea behind having these small cascade funds was to speed up the access to funding to the SMEs and not, of course, wait 6 months or 7 months, like, for instance, other European programs. So if you go to the next one. Yeah, you can skip this. I think I already explained this. So, important, where to find this information? There is an official website from the European Commission that all projects that deal with this type of funds are obliged to publish the information in. So this is one of the information sources that you can use. And in the next one, we, as I told you, are one of the main distributors of cascade funding. This means that our company wins a lot of projects to be able to distribute these funds. So we are not the only company doing this type of work, but nowadays we are the one that is managing the highest amount of funds. So we have different collections of information where you can find these funding opportunities. And next one. And now, what are the specific open cores that are available? I have my cheating notes because my colleagues sent me all this information, but as I told you, what is important is that you more or less see what is there, and then I will put you through the different persons that Funding Box are working with this specific open cores. Okay? So in the case of ICOS, you can see here the funding that they are distributing more than, up to 200K per consortium. They are looking for different type of organizations, as you can see. They are looking for SMEs and also technology providers to validate different solutions that they are working on. So mainly I have an example here that I really think it illustrates the idea. ICOS stands for IoT to Cloud Operating System, and they are trying to accelerate the computing and intensive workloads. So for instance, an example of a project that they are currently developing is a railway monitoring system, where usually, they put different cameras and sensors throughout the railway track, but of course this type of revisions or maintenance are only done twice or 3 times per year. So throughout the other periods, what is going on? And what they have developed is a solution that allows real-time tracking, maybe even the event of something falling into the tracks or something also leveling the track systems. So this is an idea for you to know what type of projects they are covering. The next one is about Target X. As you can see here, they are also oriented in different sectors, so manufacturing, energy, automotive, and construction. And they are also looking for SMEs or individuals. As you can see, there is still time to apply. Some of them didn't yet open, so you are, let's say, the first one knowing about this opportunity now. And also, they are going to demonstrate the potential of 5G and 6G in real environments, for instance, localization, self-descriptions, or digital twinning solutions. Okay? If we go to the next one. And this is similar to the other one. This is also, they are focusing also on other key industrial sectors and also societal sectors, okay? This you might find in also some open cores. They are also, for instance, the aging population, so different targets that, of course, are coming from the mandates of the European Commission. You can see the type of organizations, and then if we go to EU Robin, that is related to robots. In this case, as I told you, they are mostly focusing on societal challenge, and let me check my cheating notes. So they are tackling questions related to the transferability. And mainly the verticals that they are covering are circular economy, quality of life, also the outdoor robotics for sustainable communities. So they are covering different verticals. As you can see, they are offering a 3 to 12 months of technology program for the development of validation of novel scientific methods and technologies. And also, in this case, they are looking for a wider range of applicants. They are looking for companies, research organizations, and also academia and research organizations. This opens also a door for the SMEs to collaborate also with academia. So in case that you are already collaborating with a university, developing specific projects, I know, for instance, in the case of Spain, there are a lot of national programs that facilitate, this collaboration. So this is also an opportunity for you to check with your counterparts. And then if we go into Nefeli, this is also cloud to edge to IoT. And mainly they are looking to remove the existing openness and interoperability barriers in the convergence of IoT. So they are also using 5G and distributed AI. And in this case, they are now working on the development of virtual objects, composite virtual objects, and generic IoT enablers. As you can see, this will be the first open call, so it means that in this, you can also check, there are several projects that are going to have different open calls. If you are not entirely sure in the first open call, you can always try during the second one. But what is important is that if you are interested, don't hesitate to connect with the project, because as we were mentioning, there are plenty of partners that will be able to support you and guide you. And for sure, if you, if we go to the next one. Yes, well, maybe I advance myself a little bit. Also, there's this very interesting new opportunity about NGI search. So here, what they want is to enable new ways of discovering and accessing information on the internet. In this specific case, they are offering also very strong technology and business support. And something that it was very interesting to me is that they are also offering access to innovation services, for instance, market landscaping or open science advice. So besides the funds, they are also guiding, the different companies in obtaining information about this, my product, it will have a lot of competitors or not. So they are using here, also the technical and business mentorship, and also innovation mentorship that was included. And I have two more opportunities, if I'm not wrong, that are not related to funding opportunities themselves. This one is for investment readiness coaching and investor matchmaking. So they are looking for companies that are working on photonics, and they organize several sessions to prepare them to pitch in front of investors, and then the best ones are going to an event to present in front of investors. So this type of services that they are offering. And finally, also this is similar to the one that I was explaining. This is based on laser-based additive manufacturing. You can check in their website, they have plenty of use cases. And now what they are going to do is to offer services for free. So maybe you are interested in a feasibility study. So they will cover this cost for you, and the technical partners will draw a plan for you to, in case you are interested to using these technologies. And the final one, is about training. So we have been talking today also about the importance of training, the upskilling and reskilling of the workforce. And in this case, this is a project that we are organizing together with Amazon. They are going to offer different courses. This project is funded under Digital Europe, which one of the main objectives is the skill of the workforce. And they are going to offer very high discount prices for the companies that would like to receive these trainings. And now, just to finish, next one. So my recommendations, if you are interested in these opportunities, is to reach to the partners, that are in charge of these projects. Also, you can check during the info sessions, where usually are, webinars where you can go there, last 1 or 2 hours, where you will receive detailed information about the conditions for applying. I could not give a lot of details because, of course, every call changes. This is a summary just to give you an idea of the opportunities that are there. But it's important that you connect, with the people working. Reading the guidelines, usually there is a document of 10 pages where they are explaining the type of entities they are looking for, what they are expecting from you, and the deadlines. That is a crucial part of the process. And yeah, I think I will leave it here because we are a bit behind the schedule. But if you have any question, you are interested in what will be the future opportunities to come, please contact us. And of course, the EDIAGs and DIAGs that we work with, that is one of the main reasons that we are here. Because as I always tell to the SMEs, I'm someone that works there, far away. I have the opportunities, well, my company is offering them, but you don't know me, maybe you don't feel this confident enough to approach me. So through your DIHs and EDIHs, you will have also the opportunity to get access to all this type of information. And now I think it's time for the EDIHs.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry for the technical issues. But as said, you're going to receive all those presentations. So you'll be able to review it again. And we have a next speaker, Agata Duarte Sequeira from, almost, from European Digital Innovation Hub. And she's going to tell you a bit more of what can be accessed on the ground, what they are working on, and how can you tap into those opportunities. And that's fine.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Engineer Vasco Lagarde, and also Liliana, and of course the project. My presentation is about the European Digital Innovation Hubs and what they can do for SMEs, and also how EEN, that is Enterprise Europe Network, and the European Digital Innovation Hubs can work together to better support businesses. So, one of the key aspects for Europe to remain internationally competitive is the digital transformation of its economy. European companies and public sector organizations, need to integrate digital technologies into their business processes, products and services so that they can become more efficient and innovative while remaining environmentally sustainable. In fact, the smart use of data can be a powerful lever to drive growth, create new jobs, and open up new business models and innovation opportunities. Oh, obrigada. Thank you. Next slide, please. So, 2022 has witnessed the further acceleration of the key trends affecting European Union's digital transformation, such as fast technological developments, like generative artificial intelligence, climate emergency, a growing demand for high-speed connectivity, the rise of internal and external risks to democracy and European values, the multilateralization of the global scene against an intensifying technological race. Also, geopolitics have had consequences for people's and businesses' everyday activities with the rise of living costs, significant increase in the number of cyber attacks in Europe, and the disruption of products and service supply chains. Systemic digital innovations have the potential to create spillover effects across economic sectors, resulting in significant effects on Europe's competitiveness, growth, and sovereignty. A working network of European digital innovation hubs is an important success factor, even more so when working in collaboration with other networks such as Enterprise Europe Network. Next slide, please. The digitalization of businesses is one of the most crucial current elements for the success and growth of the economy in a highly volatile environment with supply chains uncertainty. Next slide, please. And we can say that digitalization is key for advancing companies' business models, achieving greater efficiency, fostering their resilience, exploring new opportunities, as well as generating new revenue streams, especially for SMEs. Next slide, please. The European Digital Decade Decision sets 3 targets for the digital transformation of businesses for 2030. First, at least 75% of European companies shall have taken up cloud computing services, big data, and/or AI. Secondly, more than 90% of European SMEs shall have reached at least a basic level of digital intensity. And third, the European Union facilitates the growth of its innovative scale-ups and improves their access to finance, leading to at least doubling the number of unicorns. Next slide, please. However, the 2023 report on the state of the digital decade states that the adoption of digital technologies by European companies is still well below these targets, in particular those for the uptake of AI and big data. Under current trends and without further investments and incentives, the targets will not be met by 2030. The projected data indicates that only 66% of businesses will use cloud, 34% big data, and 20% AI, which is very far from the 75% objective set for 2030. Next slide, please. So progress towards the digitalization of SMEs is still insufficient and quite uneven across the European Union. Therefore, there's a set of recommended policies, measures, and actions for member states. For instance, member states should develop and strengthen their policies and incentives for promoting the digitalization of businesses. Member states are invited to encourage businesses to use the digital infrastructures, capacities and services that will be deployed through multi-country projects to accelerate the digitalization of businesses. And finally, member states should also raise awareness about the benefits of digitalizing businesses, namely by promoting the European Digital Innovation Hubs and the services they offer, as well as ensure that they are adequately funded. Next slide, please. So what can European Digital Innovation Hubs do for SMEs specifically? Next slide. So, to the basics. An European Digital Innovation Hub is, as you know, is a single not-for-profit organization or a coordinated group of organizations with complementary expertise to support the digital transition of companies of all forms and sizes, in particular to SMEs, mid-caps, scale-ups, and public administration across the Union. Next slide, please. The services that European Digital Innovation Hubs provide are Test Before Invest, that is experimentation with new digital technologies to understand new opportunities and return on investments, also including demonstration facilities and piloting. Special focus is on the key technologies promoted by Digital Europe programs such as high-performance computing, AI, and cybersecurity. They also provide services related to skills and training to ensure the appropriate level of digital skills within the supported organizations. The European Digital Innovation Hub services should include advertising, hosting or providing for training, boot camps, traineeships, and short-term advanced digital skills training courses. They also provide services to support access to finance, such as access to financial institutions and investors, supporting the use of InvestEU and other relevant financing mechanisms in close cooperation with InvestEU Advisory Hub, as well as the Enterprise Europe Network. And finally, innovation ecosystem and networking. European Digital Innovation Hubs should play a brokering role, structured relationships with regional authorities, industrial clusters, SME associations, business development agencies, incubators, accelerators, chambers of commerce, and also the Enterprise Europe Network will greatly help the brokering function. Next slide, please. Now, about the European Digital Innovation Hub. Next slide, please. We have some figures. So we have 405 European Digital Innovation Hubs in the network. 151 of them are funded under Digital Europe program, which means that 50% of the funding is provided by digital, and the other 50% is provided by member states, associated countries, their regions, and or private sources. We have 77 seals of excellence, which means that high-quality candidate European Digital Innovation Hubs for which no digital funding was available. Some of them are funded by member states or regions, and once they are operational, they can also become part of the network of European Digital Innovation Hubs. We also have 177 European Digital Innovation Hubs that are funded by other initiatives, and there are 31 countries with European Digital Innovation Hubs. As for Portugal, next slide, yes. We have 17 European Digital Innovation Hubs, 13 Seal of Excellence, 3 with Digital Europe funding, and 1 with other sources of funding. Next slide, please. They operate in different business or industry sectors, and they have a close collaboration to clusters. And one of them is, of course, Connect 5 here in Aveiro. Next slide, please. As for the Enterprise Europe Network and European Digital Innovation Hubs, both networks can collaborate in better assisting the SMEs and their path towards digitalization. But first, I think it's necessary to introduce you a bit to what is EEN, Enterprise Europe Network. It's the world's largest support network for small and medium-sized enterprises. It was launched by the European Commission in 2008, and it's funded through the Single Market Program and implemented by the European Commission's European Innovation Council and SMEs Executive Agency, which we call ASMIA. Next slide, please. Its EEN is organized as a series of national or regional consortia that include public agencies, research organizations, chambers of commerce, regional development or innovation agencies, business associations, etc. There are EN consortia spread out through Europe, but also in other countries, as you can see in the map. Next slide, please. For its 15 years of existence, EN has, for example, helped more than 2.5 million SMEs in benefiting from our information services and training session. More than 360,000 SMEs participated in our matchmaking events, where they held more than 700,000 business meetings. Also, more than 500,000 SMEs received advice from our experts to help them innovate and grow internationally. Next slide, please. In Portugal, we have one national consortium. It's called It's called EN Portugal, and it exists from the very beginning of EN. This consortium is led by IAPMEI, and it also includes institutions such as ANI, AEP, AIP, AIDA, SEC, ASIF, INESCTEC, UNEG, among others. So it's different types of organizations, both public and private, and different types, with different types of experts and also different type of regional reach. Next slide, please. The EN approach to supporting SMEs is the following. So it's client-centric, which means that we place the client's needs at the heart of the network's mission. We provide tailored services that are specific to each business's needs and characteristics. We have a pool of experts. Our international advisors have the experience and resources to help the business thrive. Next slide, please. And these are the several areas our services focus on: innovation, sustainability, resilience, EU single markets, business partnering, digitalization, internationalization, and access to finance. Our advisors are fully qualified to provide advice on their areas of specific expertise, and they have a very specific set of tools to better assist the SMEs. And all of this is absolutely free of charge to the companies. Next slide, please. So EN aims to be an open network in terms of coordination. We bring together and coordinate regional perspectives to provide better services to our local partners and clients. Synergies, we foster synergies with regional, national, and European business support ecosystems to better support SMEs. And cooperation, we work in close cooperation with key stakeholders, European programs and initiatives. So you can see that the potential of collaboration between European Digital Innovation Hubs and EN is considerable. Next slide, please. So how can both networks cooperate? Cooperation strengthens the service offerings of the two networks, both in a regional and business sector logic. And the possibilities are, for example, creating joint investor-related events. EN partners often have long-standing business relations with investors and also have experience in preparing SMEs for their pitching in front of an investor panel. Also, organization of common trainings, workshops, or info days for SMEs. And also referrals of SMEs from EN to European Digital Innovation Hubs and vice versa. So you can see how this can truly be a win-win collaboration for both EN and European Digital Innovation Hubs. And I hope that with this presentation, I could open the door for such a future collaboration to happen between the Portuguese European Digital Innovation Hubs and EN Portugal. Next slide, please. And the last slide. So you have my contacts. If you have any ideas for future collaborations, please get in touch. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Agata. And Agata is also going to stay with us for lunch. And so there, if you have any questions about EDIHs or available opportunities in Portugal, she's going to be happy to address them. And now we're going to move to the next one. And that will be my presentation for you today. And I'm going to present you a bit about the I4Q project that is hoping to end the waste and also help to improve the production in general. And as I was saying at the beginning, SHOP4CF is about to finish, whereas I4Q is still on, so there are plenty of opportunities for you guys to access, and we're very strongly encouraging you to do that. So, did you know, if you could go, yeah, did you know that companies lose up to 30%, so 1/3 of revenue, every year due to inefficiencies? Like, we all talked about money and how important it is to get money, right? But, you know, there is the saying that you can get rich, but either getting more money in or spending less. So with this project, what we're focusing on is to help you to cut all the loose ends and make sure that there are no inefficiencies, and therefore you're losing less, and that's why having more, right? So that's a bit about budgeting here, my inputs. Anyway, I4Q is IoT-based reliable industrial data service toolset for assuring data quality, right? Traceability and proper use of architecture, proper use to archive manufacturing line, continuous process qualification, quality diagnosis, reconfiguration, and certification. Sounds like a lot of difficult words, right? Bear with me. I'm going to try my best to translate it to the human language. As you know, I'm not a technical person, so I was digging into them to try to really understand what lies behind them. So we'll go throughout this presentation, we're going to go through each of these difficult words and try to sort of untangle them. And it has 17 software tools and 5 guidelines, and they are all in bundles, right? So plenty. You know, I think the main thing that comes when you look at it is there's plenty of things that you can access in this project. And maybe, you know, you don't need to access all of them. But if there's 1 or 2 or 5, I think it's still worth considering, right? And they are up for grabs. They're all available for you. They are free of charge. So it's really worth to give it a go, right? So if we could go to the next slide. We can talk a bit about what this I4Q wants to do. And it does provide the complete solutions to improve the quality of manufacturing, aiming at zero waste, zero defect and zero waste, because that's what we're talking about. You know, the less defect, the more profit for us, right? So the project pushes forward the concept of smart, fully digitalized factory. Again, increased production, increased quality. Complete suite consists out of 22 solutions, and they are divided into 5 bundles. So I'll guide you through now each of those bundles in a very short description, but as I was telling you as well before, you'll be able to access this presentation, and there are also other tools for you available, so you can go into more details there. So the first bundle is called interoperability and better control of data. And here the value proposition is in essence to be the service to be in charge of receiving, storing, and servicing the data in order and other components of the architecture, and that's done to help fulfill the requirements of the manufacturer regarding data security, right? And that is, in the end, enabling interoperability and better control of data, unlike the currently available solutions. So you might be wondering, what is that for? Right? And that is to the solution for machine builders and system integrators. So I hope some of you might be that group, to give the end user a full control of their data. And that becomes more and more a demand. So the solution helps the producers to fulfill the demands of the market. And how can it help the manufacturing companies? Well, it avoids the vendor lock-in and guarantees no latency. The data is secured and trustable, and ability to maintain control over the data. So if we could go to the next slide. We will go to the next bundle, and I hope I have everything right. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so then we go to the next bundle, and the next bundle is about manufacturing data analytics, and that's the analytics product bundle. And this one includes the opportunities for you to analyze the data. And so the way how we see the value proposition of this one is that a suite of data analytics for manufacturing SMEs will help to manage proper knowledge, right, of their manufacturing process. And that only allows to optimize the process, because the more we know about the process, the better we can manage it and thus optimize it to, and again, increase the profitability, reduce the waste, right? And that also, if we have it all in a digitalist environment, reduces the need of like a physical inspection, right? So you have a glimpse of everything what you do in a digital form, and that really saves time on like actually going and manually checking each and every machine, for instance, right? And so this solution allows manufacturing companies to analyze that data and help them to optimize the process. And it can therefore increase the quality, because if you have the data of like what's the process like, then you can straight away, you don't waste time on checking it, and you can quickly fix whenever there is a need for fixing, and therefore the quality of the product is going to increase. So then we can go maybe to the next bundle, and that is about quality assurance product bundle. And this is in essence all about the predicting of maintenance that the machines obviously require, right? And so in this case, the value of this bundle could be described as a toolkit for digital solution for manufacturing companies that helps to predict when and how to provide the maintenance. So in essence, you don't have to manually check it, because you will see it on a digital tool, and then you even don't have to have a whole IT department to follow that process, because the bundle allows you to simply it allows for simplification of the view, and therefore you don't have to have an IT person going and checking each and every machine, and you don't have to train an IT personnel for each and every machine, but you will have the sort of the aggregated data for that could be checked by, let's say, less digital savvy employees, right? So that also saves you on the cost. And then if we could go to the next one, we have the process quality diagnosis and process control product bundle. And so this is in order to make sure that the quality of your process and therefore the product remains high. And so this is a software solution for mid-sized manufacturing companies that helps to control the process quality, enabling to have a high-quality products with high efficiency. So why would that be important? Well, I think we all agree that the high-quality products sell for a higher price. So if you can maintain the high quality, then you'll be able to win more contracts or to sell your products for higher price, and that's very clearly can afterwards be translated to your bottom line, right? As well as, because we're focusing on the process, it also helps to reduce the waste. So it's not only that you will have better products, but you also will have less of the products that cannot that do not meet the standard of quality, and therefore you're not going to have the waste, right? So again, we're increasing the value of the product you're making, and also decreasing the amount of waste. So in both ways, you're saving, and you can increase your bottom line. And also it reduces the raw material, and that's like the top of the cherry on the top of the cake, because then we're also we're more sustainable in our production. And then we can go to the next one, which I think is the last one. And this is line simulation and reconfiguration bundle that enables mass customization. And so this line simulation provides a toolkit for manufacturing companies to reconfigure their products. And so I think you all know that how important it is to quickly adapt to the needs of the market. And so adapting your product lines with this mass reconfiguration could be a game changer in terms of how much you can adapt and conquer the market, right? So these were the bundles. So this could help foresee the effects of possible problems in changing on the production line, foster reconfiguration, and avoid trial and errors because you could do it faster and easier. And with that, this is the presentation of I4Q. As I was saying, I am definitely not a technical person, and I do see that many of you are. So if you want to talk more details, please schedule a call with the project. At the same time, if we could go to the next one, you can also follow the project on the social media. And lastly, we have one person here from the project. So Roy, if you could stand up. And if you have any questions towards the project itself, I think it's best to address them to Roy. And with that, I would like to thank you for your attention. And we could connect to the person that actually want to share a story, a success story about implementation of I4Q solutions here in Portugal with Ria Stone, and Paulo is waiting for us on Meets. So if we could get into that, that would be great. Yes, there he is. And so Paulo, if you could start anytime, I hope we will be able to hear you.
Hi, Ola.
Awesome.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Okay, nice. Good afternoon. So my name is Paulo Figueiras, and I'm a senior researcher at Uninova, which is one of the partners for the I4Q project. I know that it's kind of ungrateful to be the last presentation before lunch, but please bear with me. I will try to make it quick. And of course, I want to thank right away the SHOP4CF project for this opportunity to present the I4Q project, and in this case, the Ria Stone pilot. So Ria Stone is a factory which is located near that event, so it's in Ilhavo, Aveiro. My presentation will focus on the results that we managed to have at Ria Stone with this I4Q project. I hope this is a hands-on example on how to use and why to use the I4Q solutions, but also why SMEs should couple themselves with both the Digital Innovation Hubs, but also these research projects so that they can capitalize on the digitalization that the European Commission is promoting right now. So for the outline of my presentation, I will explain a little bit and guide you through the Ria Stone factory case. Then I will go through what kind of results we had in terms of quality control optimization using the I4Q solutions that Holla already talked about. And finally, I will explain how this is operationalized in the factory. So, okay, we might have great research, but then we need to operationalize this research into the factory so that the factory can use it the best way they can, right? So just a simple introduction for the Ria Stone factory. So Ria Stone is a tableware factory that opened production in 2016. It produces tableware, so plates and dishes for IKEA, from which it earned the contract due to its innovative process. So this process is innovative because it only involves a single fire strategy as opposed to the regular production processes in which tableware goes through two firing processes. So this means that the tableware is baked in ovens or kilns 2 times in the traditional way of production. In the case of Ria Stone, they only have a single firing process, but I will explain it later. So this process, along with the automation of the factory, so the factory is fully automated, allows for a significant reduction of production costs. And because it is fully automated, it only has human interaction happening in the final stage of the process, so in the packaging and quality control. So this is a diagram that shows more or less the production process at Pearson, and this is important for you guys to understand then how we tackle the quality control problems at Pearson by tackling or by monitoring some of these processes. So first of all, we have the presses, so the raw matter, which is a ceramic paste from which the tableware is made of. So the raw matter comes into the silos, so it's brought by an external supplier to Pearson, and it's stored in 8 silos that then feed the presses that will mold the tableware product. The raw tableware exits these presses and goes directly to an automatic warehouse where it will cure for some hours. So this curing step is crucial since it replaces the first firing step that exists in traditional tableware production. And after this curing process, the tableware is glazed, so it's painted with the appropriate color depending on the contract and on the demands from the client. And this glazing or painting process is done via an automated conveyor-based process in which the tableware will spin through the glazing corridor, which you can see in the image, while the glazing paint is sprayed on them. It is important to mention that the glazing liquid or this paint that is used to paint the tableware is manually produced and monitored by workers at the Reastone factory. Finally, well, not finally, we get to the firing process. So during this firing process, the tableware is sent through an oven, a big oven, which is called a kiln. And the way that the tableware is going through this oven is through an automated track that slowly pushes the tableware filled wagons through the kiln or ovens. Okay, so you can see here already the wagons filled with the tableware and ready to enter the oven. Finally, after leaving the kiln, the tableware goes through the only human interaction in the entire process. So the tableware goes through a visual inspection, quality control, and also through manual packaging. So, okay, we are now, I think you got a glimpse of how the process works, the production line at Reastone, but what are the problems and what is the objective of this pilot? So the objective is, of course, to increase the overall production efficiency and, of course, to reduce the defects that they have. The current efficiency is about 92%. So if you think that Reastone makes 50 million plates per year, then this means that 4 million plates are going to the garbage every year. Okay, so this is a huge amount of defects that they have. And where are these issues coming from? So where does this poor quality arises? So the production line is fully automated, completely automated. And of course, if we have a new factory from 2016 and it's completely automated, we always, as owners of the factory, we always think that the problem is not in our beautiful new factory, right? So the guys at Reastone came to us and said that, okay, look, the only external source for the whole production line is the raw matter, so the ceramic paste that is brought in by an external supplier. And of course, they said this must be the main cause of our defect. So we try to analyze this thing where the problem was coming from the outside of the factory, and we came to the conclusion that although it is true, it's the only part where we have an external source into the process. Most of the processes in the production line are not well monitored. So although the factory is fully automated, from our experience at Uninova, what we found out is the more automated your factory is, the less monitoring you do to it, because you think that everything is go well, right? There's no human hand there, so the machine might work perfectly. And so the data that is coming from the production process is not used to optimize the production process right now. So we offered some possible solutions to Rheaton, and the idea was to try to predict possible quality issues from data that we gather from the different processes in the production line, and also to do a causal analysis for these issues. So where do the defects come from? Why do the defects appear? So regarding the data sources that we use, in the context of the I4Q project, first we installed the spectrometer machine. So this machine was installed at the exit of one of the ceramic paste silos. And this spectrometry gives us the raw matter composition data. So it makes a spectrometry analysis, and from this analysis we can see what different constituents of the raw matter are there through their light absorbance capability. So this data represents the levels of two of the most important constituents in the ceramic paste, in the raw matter. It's humidity, so the quantity of water in the ceramic paste, and the organic glue that is used to bind the tableware into a dish, okay? We also have access to the glazing liquid quality data, which is measured manually, as I already told you, every 15 minutes by some workers at Rheaton. This data represents the physical properties of the glazing paint, such as density, viscosity, temperature. And finally, we have also access to the quality control data, which is gathered through a sample selection process in which 40 units of tableware are retrieved each hour to monitor and control the hourly quality at the entire factory. Okay, so what challenges did we get? So in a utopic world, all the data would be ready to use and they didn't have any issues. But in the case of Rheaton, the scenario is quite the opposite. So regarding the raw matter data, the ceramic paste data, the spectrometer machine was recently deployed, so we don't have yet so much data available right now to use it to predict the final quality. It is also, we had also some issues with the calibration process of the machine. It was really difficult to come up with a calibration of the machine that would give us the right data. And because of this, we have just a couple of hours of production data for the raw matter. I will go there in a minute. Regarding the glazing process data, so as I told you, this is manual data collection. There is some guy at Rheaton that goes there and measures the density, viscosity, and temperature of the paint that they use to paint the tableware, and it's prone to erroneous values such as data anomalies, quite strange values there. Also, for the quality control data, it is a small quantity quality sample, so they only take 40 plates per hour, which is it's not significant in terms of the production they have hourly. There's no standardization on the defect label, so since this is a human manual data collection process, what happens is that there's no standard way of saying what defects are there. Maybe you can write a defect in one sense, and then other worker will write the same defect but using other expressions, so it's really difficult. And there's no specific number of defects per defect type, so we don't know exactly how many defects belong to a specific type of defect. For general challenges with the data, because this is a ceramic tableware production facility, we don't have track and trace processes, so we don't have individual track and trace mechanisms for each of the plates because they are going for the oven, and this firing process will erase any kind of track and trace mechanism. And so we had a difficult data integration process because we had to base ourselves on average time between the processes and the connection between these processes. So just to give you an example, a quick example, you can see here some of the steps that we did in terms of data collection, data pre-processing, feature engineering, and then the training of our artificial intelligence model. And for the glazing process data, we made this kind of model, which is a decision tree model. I don't want to get too technical here, but on the left side of the screen, you can see that one of the main correlated parameters on the glazing liquid properties with the quality, the final quality, is the density of this liquid. Okay, so this density is not controlled. It's manually controlled, but not controlled like every hour. It's controlled every day, but not every hour. And on the right side of the screen, you can see already in red on top right, you can see in red our prediction model results, and on blue the actual values for the quality based on the glazing liquid properties. So, okay, it's not an exact match, but we got a 75% precision on this one. So it's already good to find when we will have problems in quality control based on the properties of the glazing liquids. On the other hand, we also looked at the raw matter, the ceramic paste that came from the external provider. And as you can see, we got this prediction, artificial intelligence prediction model that can predict with already a good precision, with 80 to 98% of precision. The final quality depending on the properties of the raw matter that comes to the factory. So how does this get operationalized at the factory? Because as I told you, it's nice to have all of this, but we need to operationalize and to make Firestone use these prediction models to help mitigate their defects and their quality issues. So here you can see marked in red. I will show you a really fast demo using 3 of the solutions from the I4Q project. It's the data repository, DR, the services for data analytics, and the analytics dashboard. So the data repository is, as the name implies, a database, which is really easy to deploy and easy to use. Then the services for data analytics is a no-code interface where SMEs or companies can build their own artificial intelligence workflows, so that these workflows can be run, I don't know, whenever you want, so once a day, once an hour, etc. And finally, the analytics dashboard is a simple solution that helps support in the construction and creation of dashboards and visualization to better get our insights from the prediction models. So I'm going to show you a simple demo. I'll try to go a little bit forward. Okay, so what you will see here is the operationalization of this pipeline. So we have the data on the data repository, and we created this workflow, this pipeline, as you can see here on Apache Airflow, that can be run, that can be scheduled to run each day or each hour. And what this workflow is doing is it's predicting the final quality based on the future quality based on the glazing liquid properties. So we do a prediction with the decision tree model, and we save the prediction. And then after having the prediction saved, we can then build some dashboards that will help the guys at Creastone to better know what kind of measures they can take to improve their quality at the final stage of the process. So you can see here, really easy to use. We connect to the database of the prediction, and we can build whatever kind of visualizations and dashboarding. So in this case, we are building a table with the most important parameters. Then we can build some time series chart to show, for instance, the predicted versus the actual values. So here it is, as you can see. And then we can build other dashboards. And this dashboard can be installed also at Creastone for the guys at Creastone to have access, easy access and visual access to the prediction that they got from our AI models. Okay, this was just an example. So just to finish my conclusion, so Creastone now has some powerful AI supported tools for predicting quality issues. And the major insights that we got from our causal analysis and from the prediction processes that we built for them was that, in contrary to what they thought, 60 to 70% of all the defects are related to the glazing process, something that they can control inside the factory. And only 10 to 15% of all defects are related to the raw matter that comes from the external provider. So this was quite a shock to the management at Creastone, as you can understand. And of course, the changes in the physical properties of this glazing paint, the glazing liquid, have a really important consequence in the final product quality. The quality prediction is around 83% to 98% for our AI models, which are good precision. And for next steps at Creastone, we will deliver, as Uninova, we will deliver a full research report explaining and detailing all of what I showed you in this presentation. We have also to integrate with the real-time data, because this now we are using just historical and batch data. We have to integrate with real-time data coming from the factory. And also we have to re-update or update our models constantly through live learning model processes. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul.
Any questions?
Thank you. And now we're going to be moving towards lunch, but before you guys go, I wanted to show you one more thing. Thank you, Paul. Which is this one, sorry. Here. So, two important information here. So I was telling you that we're going to have a bit of networking, and here, if you have in one picture, like who's sort of tackling which topics. For the European funding opportunities, you can approach Maria. For what the EDIA just have to offer and the cooperation opportunities, Agata. Then we're going to have DIH services with Vasco, and technical expertise and SHOP4CF, obviously with Diego. And Paul, since you're staying with us, I would like you to take over the corner of SME experience sharing of the beneficiary of our projects. So that is the most important thing. And the second, the most important thing, is that we're going to have, after the lunch, the visit to the DIH, right, with Vasco. And so it's really important for me, guys, that you guys are going to be back at 2:30 because we're going to take a tour from here. So let's come back here, I suppose. And from here, we're going to go to the DIH, right? Is that all clear? So now, hopefully you enjoyed this part of the day. Let's enjoy lunch. And Vasco has something to say.
Just before you go, if someone is interested in seeing a little bit Rheostone case, we can arrange a visit. We can organize that. So at the end, or whenever you want, please contact us and we will try to do it, okay? And now the lunch is just outside. Thank you very much.